And it appears that we are live.
Yay.
Live, yay. We'll give folks a little time to come on. What a peanut gallery we are. Look at that. You see that? You guys go ahead and share it out. Hey, if you are joining us for the first ever real estate whatever show, do us a favor. Let us know how things sound, how things look. This is our first show, so we're going to be working out the kinks as we go. But do share it. Let's get the word out. We're going to hold on for just a couple of seconds and let some folks get here and come on, because God forbid you miss a minute of this. This is an entertainment value because it's free. All right.
So Zach Walker and Tom Marion are watching.
Wow, it's almost like they're in the room. What are the odds? What are the odds?
You know, the first couple of times you went live from your bedroom last night,
I
accidentally walked. I was like,
all right, we're live here, Tom. Thanks. All right, that's Tom Marion from Movement Mortgage chiming in. You can't hear it. Let us know if how we sound. If the sound is okay. I know it's probably going to be a little tin canny, but just give us some feedback. So far, everybody in the room seems happy. There's Warren Helms. Hey, Warren, how does things sound? Hey, Tony. And I'm not going to shout out to everybody. Don't you hate shows where they just do that? The first 20 minutes is
like waiting for people to join.
Yeah. Zach Walker in the house.
But I really like when they say my name.
Is
So
that
I
it?
like the shout out.
Oh, yeah.
I got you. All right. Well, shout it out. Let us know how we sound again. This is the first ever Revolved Realty Hammer and Sales / Brodowski / our sponsors today are Movement Mortgage. Tom Marion actually brought in a casserole that he claims he cooked.
He did cook it. I could look at it and
Did
tell.
you taste it? You could tell?
I didn't taste it. I wasn't that brave, but I could totally look at it and tell he cooked it.
So, are you saying it looks appetizing or it doesn't?
Sure.
It smells good.
It does smell good.
And then there are orange rolls.
There are orange rolls, and then Zach, you had the Chick-fil-A, right?
I did.
You and 12,000 other people at the
Apparently.
Chick-fil-A. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and get started. We've got some folks. I think we've got a whole 12 people. Well, there are 6 in this room, so we got 6 people. What we want to do with this show is talk about all things real estate, not just buying and selling homes, but remodeling, decorating, construction, flipping. Then we want to get into the mortgage side of things, the titling, everything pertaining to real estate is what our goal is to talk about on the show. And our plan right now is to be here every Friday morning about this time, 9 o'clock. And some mornings it'll be all of us. Some mornings it might just be 1 or 2 of us. But we're going to try to be here every week. What I thought we would do, since this is the first show and not everyone knows us, is kind of go around the table, just introduce who you are, what your credentials are as far as real estate goes, and what you hope to bring the audience. So we'll start down on the end. For those of you who don't recognize this guy, look into the stroke the beard. Do this. This is Zach Walker, the bearded realtor. He is the founder and the CEO of Revolved Realty. And so why don't we, just for a few minutes, Zach, tell us how did you get into real estate and what's going on?
So my background was in private equity real estate investing more so than retail real estate. And I originally got my license to simply buy and sell my own properties without the hefty commissions involved in doing such. And
Sound familiar?
And what became apparently clear was that the market was demanding another option for that. And so what we ended up doing was we created there are other companies across the Midwest and out in the West doing the flat fee listing services, but that's kind of our market strategy. That's what we brought to the consumer, and thus far in our first year, we've saved our clients over $175,000 in listing commissions. So I don't know if I'm credentialed, but that's what I do. So I started Revolved Real Estate a year ago, and now we have our 2 locations. We just got a new office in Athens that we're excited about, but that's the beard.
That's the beard. Now, who were you before the beard?
I look like I was 12.
Okay, good. You're the 12-year-old realtor. That's really well. Sitting next to Zach is our dear friend Sarah Parvin, who is almost on Facebook as much as me. Almost.
Almost. It's close.
Yeah. I get people going, who are you, Sarah Parvin? Tell us about yourself, Sarah.
I am originally from Montgomery. I have been in Huntsville for the last 16 years, and I've been in real estate those entire 16 years in some capacity. So I currently work for Brodowski, McCurry, and Maynard, and I am their business development person.
Wow, which means you do what?
I bring in business. I solve problems for realtors, lenders, builders. I am your get-her-done girl, and I enjoy it. I love it. I live for it.
And you're never in the office.
I am a real estate gypsy. I am all over the place all the time. I work crazy hours, but when you love something, that's what you do. It doesn't feel like work.
Awesome. And sitting next to me is my beautiful firstborn, who looks, thank the Lord, like her mother and not her dad. This is the lady that dragged me into real estate, my daughter, McKinney.
Hey, okay, it's my turn.
Hey.
I think that's what all my Facebook lives start out with is hey, or hey guys, or I'm really not original. Anyway, I'm Chelsea McKinney. I have been a realtor for 5 years now. I've been investing in real estate for 10 years now. I, like Zach, got into it because I didn't really want to pay listing fees to someone else because I flip a lot of houses, and so I've got a lot of houses of my own that I try to list and sell. I am one half of Hammer and Sales. If you haven't heard of us, check us out on Facebook.
If you haven't heard of them, you're wrong.
You're
That's all
wrong.
I'm
You're
saying.
under a rock if you haven't heard of Hammer and Sales.
Yeah, so this is my hobby turned work, but I guess it's still kind of a
You know what the
hobby.
funny thing is, when Chelsea was little, you couldn't blast her off the couch, and now she probably works harder than everybody in this room because she not only does real estate, but she does the flipping and she does the remodeling, and she did an HGTV pilot.
She's famous.
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 Joanna
Yeah.
Gaines, watch out. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Sorry.
Sarah, I feel like we're gonna get a disservice here because it's like when Sarah was young, she's like, we're missing that connection. We're just gonna have to
It's
miss it.
okay. You
I've
are
got 30 years worth of stories on
Yeah.
me, so 30.
you are the adoptive children I never wanted. So, and also in the room, Tom and Jim Marion, father and son team from Movement Mortgage. They are not on camera. They're over there. What are you doing? Are you taking pictures? Tom is the one that brought the casserole, and Jim is his dad, who obviously there's something going on with law enforcement that won't allow you to get out without parental supervision. So we'll have these guys on in just a few minutes talking about the mortgage industry, which changes almost as quickly as the real estate business. So who am I really quickly? If you don't know who I am, God bless you, because I can really get on your nerves from what I hear. My name is Tim Knox. I am a retired 30-year entrepreneur who has been dragged into the real estate business by my daughter. I think the quote was, "Hey, Dad, why don't you come work with me?" And now it's, "Hey, Dad, why don't you come work for me?" So Chelsea's my partner here in Revolved. We are the Madison office, the Madison branch of Athens. So I've probably been in real estate formally less than anybody here because I just got my license 3-4 months ago, but I kind of brought an entrepreneurial slant to it. And that's one thing we'll talk about on this show is how different mindsets can often lead to different outcomes as far as success goes. Because, you see the statistics, the average realtor might sell one house a year and make $20,000. Well, I go through that in dog food every year. So
I used to make $20,000 on one house.
Yeah.
I'd like, one house would be good, but no, I mean that's an annual income. You might sell 5 houses a year and make 20 grand. So anyway, what we want to do is encourage the audience to participate in this. If you've got comments, drop them in the box below. We are still looking for a name for this show. We don't want to use round table because everybody uses round table, and this one's rectangular. And the real estate rectangular show just doesn't have the right ring to it. So we are taking suggestions. If you suggest the name and we choose it, you win lunch with Zach Walker at Crystal.
And I can eat some
He
Crystal.
can eat some. Oh, by the way, you have to pay. Zach.
You have to pay.
Yeah, you get to eat with Zach. But Zach's
No
not
sack full
buying.
for you.
Well, for the first show, let's just kind of talk real estate in general. What's going on in our local market? Because I'm hearing rumblings that things are slowing down and we're getting into a recession. And, for my part, I'm not really seeing that here. Let's go back down to the end of the table. Zach, what are your thoughts? Are you seeing any kind of slowdown, any hints at all that the bubble is headed toward the burst?
I struggle with that concept because it's like every time we're not in a barn, like the average days on market being 86, if your house doesn't sell in a week, people are like, well, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not. It doesn't mean we're in a recession. It doesn't mean we're in a bubble. It's not about to pop. Like, it's not the 2000. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
We're not going to crash. I feel like the economy's strong at the federal level. It's stronger than it has been in a long time. Interest rates are still great. We've got, school starting back up. It's from a time of the year perspective, you expect it to slow down just a little bit because just like the first part of the summer, everybody's on vacation, everybody's starting travel ball, everybody's doing those things. Now we're getting back into routine. We're getting back into, so yeah, it's going to slow down a little bit. I don't know that that's an indicator of real estate Armageddon 2018 because your house didn't sell in 3 days. But, certainly I would say it's slowing down in some capacity, but not necessarily market. Right.
It might not be Armageddon coming.
I don't think it is. I don't think there's anything indicating economically that's what, we've got jobs, we've got, creation of new opportunity, we've got companies coming in, we've got investment, our cities are growing, North Alabama is growing rapidly.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to indicate to me that we're slowing down long term. It just may be for a minute.
Just the season.
Sure.
Well, the fact that this week in this office we sold 2 houses in like 3 or 4 days.
Well, and then another one yesterday, so 3 total over the course of 5 days.
Yeah. But we do have houses that sit out there, and that's not unusual. But to me, and I'm not going to jump out of turn because you're next, but it just seems like things are still pretty hot. What are you seeing as far as the title side of things?
I can tell you for the last 3 months consecutively, we have had record-breaking closing volume. Yes, from new construction, it has been just an explosive development here in North Alabama. It's a good time to be in the industry for sure. But I'm with Zach on that. The slowdown to me has a negative sort of connotation with it, and I don't think it's necessarily negative. I do think it is. You've got 4th of July and back to school, and so we have these ebbs and flows in the market, and I think that's all we're really seeing. Like, I'm not pressing panic button yet.
Yeah. What about you, Chelsea? What are you seeing out there? Because you do not only the real estate sale, but you do the flipping, and you're in several areas there. What are you seeing?
Well, I really think that there's always like a massive push to be in a house before August 1st, just because school is starting. If we're changing school zones, we need to get the kids registered and everything. But realistically, we're in an area where I'm not even worried about it. I really feel like North Alabama is so protected, even when it comes to, the last recession. We didn't really, it wasn't detrimental to this economy. It wasn't, so, I have several flips going on right now, and I'm picking and choosing which ones to focus on because of location. Like, I have one in Madison that I know it'll sell even if I list it in December. And it's just, I know there are hot areas, and then there are some that are lukewarm, and we're going to focus on those during the really hot time. But all in all, I think this North Alabama area is just kind of,
the getting is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. This, I think I did a writing grant on this, but it seems like a lot of the
you do a lot of those. So
people love those.
good.
I had a guy walk up to me at Logan's and go, "Hey, you're that driving and griping guy," and I'm like, "Yes, I am. Thank you for watching." Yeah. So I get called a lot of different things, but it seems to me that a lot of the rumblings start kind of on the left coast, like California. Vegas, those kind of areas, and Tom might have something to say about this. What happens out there usually doesn't reach us for a couple of years, if it reaches us at all.
Sure.
And the thing about this area, Huntsville, Madison County is the fastest growing area in the state. They're saying that within 5 years, we're going to be the largest metro, something like that, even larger than Montgomery and Birmingham. We've got Toyota coming in, we've got Facebook, we've got Google, everybody locating here. So even if there is a slowdown outside of our area, I don't see this particular area slowing down. When you've got neighborhoods popping up where they're going to build 200, 300, 400 houses, to me, that says our market is okay. There may be some seasonal stuff going on, but I don't see any kind of indication of a bubble. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Tom, I don't know if we can hear you. You might want to come over here to the mic. We're going to pull Tom Marion in here, who dressed up for the occasion as always. Let's squeeze in. Yeah, let's get him in the chair there.
Okay.
I do want your, now don't get too close to Zach because he gets nervous when you brush against him. But
I get that.
yeah.
I use a charge for that.
Yeah.
Scoot down, hey Zach, scoot down just a little bit so Tom can come in just a little bit more.
Can I sit in the lap?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, Tom takes up a bit more frame than Sarah does. So hold the mic over close to you there for just a second. This is Tom Marion with Movement Mortgage. From a mortgage standpoint, by the way, thanks for the casserole.
Absolutely.
It looks and smells edible. So yeah,
It is edible.
So what are you seeing from the mortgage side? Are you seeing any indication at all that things are slowing down? Or I mean, you and I were on the phone last night at 8 o'clock working.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, things, they might be slowing a little bit, but I don't think there's any reason to panic in our area.
You think it's just seasonal? Though?
It is, yeah. I totally think so. And I was looking at the job report last night.
Mhm.
We are back at the lowest unemployment level
Right.
since 1969.
Wow.
So, I'd say that's a strong thing.
Yeah.
All
Tell us a little bit really quickly about Movement Mortgage, our sponsor today.
right. So,
By the way, if you bring food, you're the sponsor.
Yeah.
We're just sponsors.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Snacks.
sponsor, chef, whatever,
Yeah.
So Movement Mortgage has been around for 10 years. We just celebrated our 10th anniversary, June the 8th. And it was started by two guys in North Carolina. We had 4 employees. Now we're in 48 states and have 5,500 employees.
Wow.
So number 7 lender in the U.S.
Wow.
We're pretty large and really kind of getting into the Huntsville market and growing who we are here. But we do things very different than other mortgage companies. We actually take an application and upfront underwrite your client.
Yeah.
Instead of a pre-approval letter, that you get from a loan officer that says, well, your credit's okay, you've got a job, sure, you can afford this much house.
Mhm.
Well, we take the application, send it to a live underwriter, and within 6 hours have an actual underwritten approval.
A live underwriter.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Not
just to clarify,
Just
to
it's not the dead one,
Well,
it's the live one.
Right.
Now, I have worked at companies where the underwriters are not live.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get the undead.
Right.
There it is.
They come in and they're
The
like,
zombies.
yeah.
And they'll make a loan to anyone with barely a pulse.
Yeah. So,
So you're not seeing anything slowing down from your side?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Zach,
I think it's
same
great,
with you. And again, I think a lot of it may have to be, I think we're very different than other markets, don't you? I mean, Chelsea, you were in Tuscaloosa for 4 years, and I know you were done some houses down there. That's a hot market. Any college market is a hot one, and I think ours is hot here because of the defense and the Google Fiber, which, God, I wish we had run to this building. Wow, is the internet working? So really no slowdown, things remain strong. You mentioned the average days on the market now is what, 80?
Yeah, like low 80s,
Like
I think.
low 80s, which is really, I think, pretty darn impressive.
Yeah.
But, one thing that I'm running into, though, is we sell houses, most of our houses pretty quickly. Nowadays, and you guys can talk to this as well, when you take on a listing, if it doesn't sell quickly, the
It's your
client
fault.
is like, why isn't my house one of
Right.
those that's selling quickly?
And so that process, like, is 100%, if a house is priced correctly, it's going to sell. Like, we'll overprice a house or we'll reach, which is fine. I mean, I'm all about going out and trying to get the most amount of money, but
Right.
like, why is my house up? Well, it's too expensive for the area. That's
Yeah.
why it's not.
You never
If
say
you
it's
price
because-
it right,
You
it's
never
going to
say
sell quickly.
because the market's so high.
No, I
Because we
mean,
just said it wasn't.
and I love being able to say, well, our average days on the market is 2. Well, that's a fantastic stat if you have it,
But it doesn't
but it's
happen
just,
for all
it's
of them.
not realistic. And so I don't know, that's a frustrating piece of it because
Yeah.
like it has nothing, I mean, it has nothing to do with my ability to sell your house, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, my dog, if he was trained in the MLS, could sell a house in 2 days if it was priced correctly. It's the bottom
I
line.
need to get Buddy in. Well, what I like to say is, okay, it may take me 60 days to sell it. Other realtors, it could take 120. So you have to spend that. So, but let's continue this conversation along those lines, though, because the median house price here now is what, 190? 194, and that's the median, meaning that's the middle. Now the average,
it's up 20,000 in the last 60 days. That's the really impressive statistic.
Right, which to me just reflects that it is a seller's market, and people are, because we did 2 or 3 multiple offer deals this week. We have people literally fighting over some property.
Exactly.
Which to me is also a reflection of the heat of the market. Because if it was a buyer's market, you know, there wouldn't be a lot of multiple offer situations.
Can we talk for a second about the appraisal piece? Because I've had
Yes.
I've had 3 appraisals come back. I mean, I've had 2 of them come back within $2,500 of a contract price. You've got a willing and able buyer with a contract at XYZ price, and the appraisal comes back $2,500 lower than said price. So I went and did some research. This particular property was in Potter's Mill, right? And they bought it 3 years ago for $2,500 less than the appraised value. And so we were only given 25% growth or appreciation on that property in 3 years.
Right.
Can someone explain to me how that process works? Because it's now if you own a house, you try to sell it, you get an above asking offer, like that's all great and well, but it very well may not appraise, and you're not going to, I mean, you're going to have losing money on that deal.
Yeah.
So how does that process evolve? How does it grow if the market is you know, is growing at such a rapid pace? How do we make sure that stuff keeps up? Because it's not, I mean, it's not.
So a lot of the appraisals are kind of based on old market numbers. But that's a really good point, because 2 of the offers this week, they went above ask. And are they going to appraise at that? You know, a lot of times it's like, wow, what a coincidence. It appraises for exactly, you know what I mean? But a lot of times it doesn't. Now you are on the lending side. You work with these appraisers. What are your, and granted, you don't.
I don't work with them.
You don't say, it'd be nice if this appraiser.
Well, but hold on a minute now.
Not anymore.
Hold on a minute now. The appraisal does that. The appraiser works for the lender. I mean,
Technically, yes.
he's appraising for you, correct?
on
technically they
behalf
do.
of
On behalf of, which is
A racket in and of itself.
right. But now the
I'm
government,
being honest.
a few years ago took care of the racket.
Yes.
We
Yeah,
now
no, I get
have
that.
appraisal management companies,
Yes.
which is a third party that sets the appraisals up. They're the
Right.
go-between, I guess, the buffer.
You
So
have no
we-
direct contact with the appraiser
Correct.
anymore.
Yeah, until after the appraisal is done.
Right.
Then we find out who it is. You know, the shroud is lifted and we find out, oh, this is the appraiser. And then you can contact them and you can talk about a few specific things.
Right.
Price is not one of them.
Yeah.
You know, value, you don't ever say that. So, but yeah, I mean, on the lender side, I have seen, I can't tell you how many hundreds of deals that they say, oh, sales price is 190, this house is worth 191.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and so
they're just gonna go
conversely-
right off the sales price.
Yeah.
Conversely, if they come in at 187.5, like, I just want to be like, are you, I mean, I realize, Mr. Appraiser, Mrs. Appraiser, you're great at your job, but are you that good that you can determine the value to within a 2,500? Like, you have a ready, willing, and able buyer. A bank's already said, we'll lend that amount of money to that person.
Yeah.
And a third party takes it out. I mean, it's like the referee at the 8-year-old baseball game, right? Just decides to interject himself and call a runner's interference in a T-ball game. Like, there's
Send
no
a baseball player.
yeah, like there's no, I mean, come on, take yourself out of the game.
We're running our lives.
I mean, you've struck a chord with me because it's happened 4 times.
Yeah. Well, the thing
And my
about
clients have had to take less money for the house. I think so. It's probably the beer.
We had one this week that came in, the square footage was like 400 square feet less on the appraisal
right.
than what was on the building plans, what's on the tax records. And the appraiser's like, no, I'm sticking with it. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, I mean, in their
So-
defense, they can only base their opinion on the available data. The downside is a lot of times there is no available data.
Sure.
If you're doing a comp for me and my house is here in Madison and the only one that can comp is somewhere on the other side of Athens, that's
Exactly.
not a comp. And inspector appraisers will tell you, if we can't find anything here, we have to increase the geography and just look for similars,
Exactly.
which 9 times out of 10 are not true comps.
Yeah.
But I'm with Zach. I mean, if a lender says, hey, I'm willing to lend 190, I'll lend one maybe.
Sure.
I mean, the lender, let's be honest, they're and Jim's over here like you guys would call it crap, but yeah, but the lender is protected up to a certain point because the buyer's going to put down 5, 10, 20%. But
Well, so
Actually,
so-
yeah.
3.5 is real
I'd love
on
to
it.
see them put
Yeah.
10 to 20%
Yeah.
down. That would be
talk
great.
about that from your side of the table by doing flips. Does the appraisal process in the beginning come into play as much as when you're ready to sell it?
No, I don't. I typically, when I buy a house to flip, I don't have to have it appraised because we're typically working with cash. On the selling end, what I have found, what bugs me is I know the quality of the houses that we're putting out there.
Yeah.
And I'll price it above
Yeah.
all the other crap that's out there.
Yeah, but-
No offense to anybody
To
selling
your
that
craft. No
crap,
offense to your
but
craft. Yeah.
no, so I'll price it above because it is. It's above
Sure.
what else is out there. And every single, I can't tell you how many calls I get saying, well, where are the comps for this
Yes.
price? And
Yeah.
I'll say, honey, there aren't any because it's better than everything that's out there. And so I'll set a neighborhood high. I had a house in Harvest, okay? It was a cute little house, and I set a neighborhood high at $97 a square foot. Everything was brand new. 3 months later, a house that had new paint sold for $103 a square foot. So you
Yeah.
know what I did? I just bought another house on that same street. And I'm still
Yeah.
like,
Well,
it's
the thing about it is,
crazy.
we had a situation, one of the 4 I was talking about, the appraisal came in $40,000 low. And then, but check this out, we had another one, and it came in right at
That's
the
bizarre.
price. So you're
Different
telling me
appraiser.
that there's a $40,000 I mean,
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
I mean, and there's got to be a reason,
I
but good luck finding it.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
you know
just
what I mean?
subjective. Well, I know that you did a house in a neighborhood in Decatur that,
Oh, yeah.
it ended up being the bar in this neighborhood. I mean, Chelsea comes into a neighborhood of what, $60,000 houses and gets 140,
It was
150,
125.
125, but still. And
But-
how did you get it to appraise?
The,
The gods just smiled on you?
the buyer's agent at closing said every single team meeting we had in our office, we talked about, has the appraiser come out on that house yet? Like,
Has it happened
that
yet?
house
Has it
was the
happened?
talk of the things every single week until it appraised, and it did.
It did.
I mean, it was like 2,000 over what our contract price was. It was
Yeah.
real close, but
Well,
it appraised, and
yeah.
it was the highest price in the neighborhood by like $40,000-$50,000.
You know, they're still talking about that appraisal
Yeah.
to this day.
You
Remember
wouldn't drive,
Chelsea?
well, when you drive down that street, you're like, normal house, Chelsea McKinney house.
Right.
And for those of you that
Who
haven't
wow.
seen a Chelsea McKinney house, like, let me just,
Yeah.
you need to stop what you're doing, go to HGTV, watch that, because she is unbelievable at the design. Travis, my bearded brother Travis, shout out. The other half of Hammer and Sales he executes flawlessly, and she deserved the appraisal because what she does is unbelievable. And so if you guys are looking to do something like that, call her.
We know what I think we should do is get an appraiser in here.
I was just going to say that.
Now, what we'll have to do
I'll
is
be busy that week.
we'll have to trick them into coming.
Maybe we can get like one of those the cages that you dive with sharks.
Yeah,
And
we
we put
did.
it in the
No,
cage.
I do feel a little
Appraise
bad
protection.
for appraisers. I know some appraisers. They're really nice guys. They're stand-up guys, and they have to walk a very fine line just like
True.
we do. The fact that their appraisal doesn't come in for what we want doesn't necessarily make all of them.
No, absolutely.
But-
Just goes out.
But it is.
I'm just
It's-
kidding.
Well, the problem is when you're in real estate, there are so many points where the deal can just fall apart.
Yeah, a lot of
You know,
moving pieces.
I mean, once just getting the damn contract signed is just the first step in a very long journey. Then you got to go through inspections, which we also will talk about on the show. The appraisal process, pre-approval, pre-qualification, pre-underwriting. There are so many places where the realtor can get that phone call and go, happens in title too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I had one recently where the title company, we were good to go, and then they realized that there was like a 20-foot strip of land that wasn't in the deed.
Mm.
So we had to go back out and do a survey and do that whole. So there are all kinds of places where it'll fall apart. Believe it or not, we've been doing this 30 minutes. I told you this goes quickly. Hey, I want to tell you, David Metcalf has suggested the revolved table. I kind of like the revolving table.
Okay,
Oh,
my
uh-oh.
mom, she said,
Uh-oh.
adding to the other idea, what about the revolving realty table? And someone else said real talk. Brad Wallace said real talk.
That'd be
These
a
are,
good
these are
hashtag.
strong
That's
contenders.
These are real, people are,
I
you mentioned Crystal, and people come out of
Right.
woodwork to compete. So, we're gonna cut it off here. I think that was a really quick 30 minutes. This was our first show. Hopefully it looked and sounded okay out there. It sounded great in here.
Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, and I'm looking at it right here, and I mean, we're all beautiful.
Well,
So-
some of us more than others.
Yeah.
But, you know, I tend to appeal to an older crowd. So, really quickly, Tom, Movement Mortgage, how did they get in touch with you?
You can go to MVMT-HSV, it's Movement Huntsville.
Okay.
Or you can call me at 256-417-4908.
Awesome.
Or you just find me on the street.
Yeah, in that t-shirt.
In the t-shirt.
And a t-shirt
That's
and flip
funny.
flops.
Zach, how'd they get a hold of you?
Yeah, revolved.com for Revolve Realty Group, both Madison and Athens. You can call us at 808-8070.
Love that
Anytime.
number. 808-8070.
Will you do a jingle?
Call us. I just did.
I think you
just
Were you
did.
not listening?
Yeah.
He just did.
Sarah, how'd they get in touch with you?
Sarah Parvin, 256-426-0004.
All right, and Chelsea McKinney, Hammer and Sales.
Hammer and Sales, yeah. Go to hammerandsales.com or Hammer and Sales on Facebook or email me at chelsea@revolve.com. I'm not going to hand out my
Send a
personal number.
pigeon.
Call that
Smoke
808
signals.
number. Yeah, lots of ways. Private message.
Or just call her dad, and I'll point you in that direction.
Yeah.
This has been a lot of fun. We're going to be here every Friday on Facebook Live. It will continue to get better. The equipment will get better. We might have to get a bigger room, though.
Remind
In a bigger boat.
You know.
And I forgot.
We've got one in Athens, so.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Oh,
Oh, and Brandon Sanford. There's your shout out.
Brandon, there's your shout. You want to shout out to anybody?
Hi, Ammon. Love you. Hi, Mom. Love you too. Thanks for participating always.
Can we have Woodrow in for a show?
No,
Please, Evan, please.
Yeah,
Woodrow,
we'll
next
do it.
week, Friday.
We'll do a
Bring
show
it.
where we bring in all of our dogs. I'll bring Murph.
My
Oh,
145-pound Rottweiler probably wouldn't play well with others.
You know what?
but-
What I realized the other day is if you were a dog, you would be Murphy, my dog. You would be a
Oh, I
70-pound
see
red,
it.
red golden.
Yeah.
There's no way if I was a dog, I'd be a golden.
No,
I would be a pit bull,
This golden dude was just.
a Rottweiler, or a really
You know
pissed off
what?
Chihuahua.
I-
One of the two.
That's what I was gonna say. God has this sense of humor. You'd be like an applehead chihuahua.
Hey, but I would be the baddest applehead
Okay,
Chihuahua
we'll
on
get
the
into
block.
Here we go.
All right, guys,
Here we
that's
go.
it. We are going to cut it off. We appreciate it. If you're watching on the replay, give us your comments. Let us know what you thought. Give us ideas for topics.
Unless it's bad.
No. We want warts and all. If you think the beard sucks, we do want to hear it. And when you do make that comment, make sure you leave your address because Zach will be up to see yourself. All right, guys, good enough?
Yes.
All right, we're going to end it right here. Thanks a lot. Don't forget, if you've got an idea for a name for this show, I'm really liking the revolving table. I am. I am. All right, guys, we're going to cut it off right here. We'll see you next time. Everybody do this. What was the show that did that? Dating Game.
Hey,
Before my
that's how
time.
you met.
That's right. That's a story for another time. All right, guys, we're gonna go eat. Have a great day.
Are we ended?
We are
We're
ended.
ended.
Great job. What do you see?
Yeah.